All right, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Home Depot and like Lowe's and getting their discounted DIY prop supplies. So, for instance, here I have a can of semi-gloss interior paint. It doesn't matter, even though the props are going to be outside. The props usually only get used for that one season. This particular can here was normally $45. I got it for $3.60. So when you're at your local big box stores like that, check the clearance aisles, look for discounted stuff if you're into making props and whatnot. This particular one here, I'm gonna open it up, take a look at it real quick, and I'll share with you what I'm gonna do with it here in just a moment. All right, so it's not super dark black like Halloween, but it's pretty dark. And for me, paint sticks, you can use them more than once. Just let them dry, you can always use them again. So what I'm gonna do is stir this up. This is kind of like an epoxy, so it's not really super thick like a paint, but I really don't want it real thick for what I'm gonna do. So let me show what I have here. I picked up this monster. Someone was getting rid of it. So what I'm gonna do is give it a fresh coat of paint for Halloween, and then introduce it to our annual haunt in our front yard. The cool thing about this clock is that it actually works. So you'll get to hear it here in a second. Hopefully the camera is picking up the chimes. You can hear it. Hopefully we'll be able to have it in operation when we have it out there, when we introduce it to the Halloween props. Still going. Says it's at 10 o'clock. I guess let's chime 10 times possibly. This is one of the originals. This is probably from the 70s or 80s. I'm not exactly sure. But it's got all this type of woodwork here, which is makes it look really unique. So one of the things that I do too is when I'm out and about, if I see a local yard sale, I know kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for paintbrushes, whether they're used or not, but in still good shape. Like this is a good paintbrush. It's been used probably many times, whoever owned this, but they've cleaned it really well. For me, that doesn't matter because we're just going to use it to do Halloween props. I think this whole bag of brushes cost me maybe $1. And if you've ever had to buy brushes at Home Depot or Lowe's, the good ones, you know how much they are. So with that said, I'm just going to pick one randomly, and then we'll use this black paint to kind of start painting this. I'm going to put this piece of cardboard down just to keep the paint off the concrete. And I've never done a grandfather clock like this before, so together we're doing this for the first time. So, oh yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's supposed to just look old and scary. So, and don't be afraid to use this paint. There's a whole gallon here, so I have plenty of it. Hopefully the camera can pick this up. Looks pretty cool. And I'll just do a little bit more. I know I'm not going to sit here and paint this whole thing on video, because it's probably going to take a little while. But just wanted to show you, give you an idea of kind of what's going on here. Then what I want to do after I get this all painted is I'm going to come back and watch a different video where one of the DIY people were using a green, like a glow-in-the-dark green, to do touch-ups, and that's what I want to do here with this thing. So, and like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just introduce it to the look of Halloween. So, boom. I know some of you are probably thinking, "Oh, that was a nice clock. My grandmother had one, or my grandfather, someone had one. My mom had one." Well, whoever had this one, they were done with it, and so instead of this heading to the landfill or whatnot, it's going to be one of the props. And hopefully the camera's picking it up, how it's kind of transforming into a Halloween looking prop. One thing that could be done as well is maybe a light in here, or maybe behind here we can put a light with a mask or a skull, something like that. But as and like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a Halloween prop. And I'm not a painter, so this is just if you see one of these on a junk pile or roadside, a lot of communities have annual trash pickup or debris pickup. If you see one, pick it up. It'll make a cool prop. I'm getting paint on the window, but that's okay. Just a little bit. Looks like we'll be able to do the whole front here. It's going pretty fast. I personally think it looks pretty cool already. So I'm all set up in my backyard with the lights and stuff. Working at night because it's really still pretty hot. And the season's still pretty warm. And I know my neighbors are like, "What's going on next door?" But they can't see me because the trees are blocking me. But if they're close enough, they can hear me. They'll probably figure it out and go, "Sounds like he's talking to a camera." Probably a YouTube channel. So this is coming together pretty quick. Nothing fancy. Nothing extreme. Of course, this will have to dry before we do anything else. This clock, it's I think it's still pretty cool because it works, but we don't have room for it. We don't need it. We all have our Apple phones, right? No one needs to know what time it is with the 7-foot clock. Maybe only in Idaho. Looks like we're gonna be able to finish this quicker than I thought. So hang on. Let's try to get this down here. All right. A little bit right here. hopefully you guys get an idea here. You can do something at your house. Doesn't have to be something this big. In other videos, I have other pieces I'm going to be painting in preparation for our Halloween decorations. So stay tuned for other stuff that I'm going to be doing. And we're really just taking not much of anything and turning it into stuff. And what I like to do is find things that we can incorporate and scare kids with, you know. So we're gonna scare some kids. All right, we'll probably leave that as a first coat. And then once this thing dries, we can do other things to it. I'll make maybe a second video of us putting some highlights and some trim on here. So stay tuned. There you have it. Took about 5 minutes. So until next time, happy haunts.